let's talk about the differences and the similarities between the Powerbeats Pro 2 and the AirPods Pro 2. Powerbeats Pro, you can notice that it has a lot bigger of a case than you would find on the AirPods. And to be honest, I prefer the AirPods case for sure. And I think most people will prefer it because of how small the form factor is. These fit perfect in my pocket alongside my keys and my wallet. I don't have to worry about how bulky the case is. Compared to the Powerbeats, I need to put this in a backpack or a tech pouch with my cables because it just takes up so much space. It's a lot smaller than the previous gen, so it's nice that they made a smaller case, but it's still nowhere close in comparison to the AirPods, which I think is definitely the sweet spot here and the way the case sizing is. So the case does have some features that are different from the AirPods, and one thing that's most noticeable is the fact that MagSafe charging is missing on the Beats Pro 2. So you only get wireless charging, and then you also have a USB-C port, while the AirPods have MagSafe charging. They can charge with an Apple Watch plug if you have an Apple Watch, and then you also have the ability to use on a regular charger as well. The other thing here is the USB-C port. Both of them have USB-C. If you have the newer AirPods Pro 2, you have the USB-C charging case. However, they are not created equal. The AirPods Pro case, you can use any type of USB-C cable that you would like, but the recessed port on the Beats makes it a little bit harder to use every cable. You have to make sure that the head of the cable fits in here. So it just depends on what kind of cable you're using, but most cables should fit. You might have some that don't fit because of the opening on the back. And the biggest downside here for the USB-C port is the fact that there's no USB-C cable. Think about that. They got rid of the power blocks, they got rid of the cables. At least we have the earbuds left. Just a joke. Coming back to the actual comparison, it's kind of strange that you get one with the AirPods and you don't get one on the Beats. I really wish I had a cable to fall back to if I don't have another cable. For example, not everyone might have a cable they can just spare for their earbuds. They only use one cable for multiple devices, but it would be nice to always have a failback option to the original cable for the earbuds if there was one, but of course there isn't one in this case, which is a bit of a disappointment, but it's okay. The AirPods case does have some more features than the Beats one. You have the speaker holes on the bottom, which helps you with the Find My connectivity, and you can ping the case so it makes a noise when you're looking for this case, and it also makes different noises depending if you're charging it, discharging it, or if you're pairing it. So it's pretty nice to have those speaker holes, and you do not have that on the Powerbeats, but don't think you don't have Find My connectivity. You do. However, since they don't have the U1 chip, which allows even more precise location finding, then pretty much here you have a more basic functionality with the Find My on the Powerbeats Pro 2. And the biggest thing here is you cannot find this case. So it's a bigger case, so you should be able to find it, but if you were to lose it, good luck. There's no way to find this case. The only place you can play a sound is on the left and on the right earbuds, compared to the AirPods Pro 2, which has the ability to play on the left and right earbud and the case as well due to those speaker holes on the bottom. The AirPods also have this lanyard hole, which I personally don't use, but for some people it might be a really nice addition. If you want to use a lanyard, you have the ability to do so here as well, and something you do not have on the actual case of the Beats. So coming to the actual earbuds, this is the part that's most different from both of these. You have regular silicone earbuds for the AirPods, and then you have here your over the ear with the ear hooks earbuds with little silicone tips. So this is more of an athletic fit. I would say this is more for people that want to do athletic activities, and it helps out a lot with the fact that there's that ear hook. In my personal opinion, I don't see a humongous benefit to these ear hooks. And I'll tell you exactly why. When I work out and run, I notice on the AirPods from day one, since I had the Pros, the silicone tip starts to come out as I run faster, move my head. I can start noticing that the actual tips start coming out. And eventually, if I shake my head too rigorously, then what's gonna happen is they're just gonna fall out. With the Beats, they will never fall off your ears because of the hook, even if you shake your head. However, the silicone tips still come out of my ear when I'm running or moving my head. And that doesn't really help a lot, since what's the most important thing here? It's the sound quality, right? So when those ear tips are not perfectly in your ear canal, you don't hear the sound quality really good, the bass, the vocals. So it's kind of not a perfect fit. And I use a medium on the AirPods here, but then I use a large on these, but they also include an extra large, which the AirPods do not. So that's a little bit different. So I decided to go for the large fit to, see if I can get the same comparison with the silicone tips for the AirPods, and that is true. So basically with the largest here, I have the same fit as the AirPods, but then I want to see if I can make the Powerbeats perfect when running. So I have the ear hook, and then I went to the extra large size that comes in the packaging to see if that would help. And after a while, it felt like kind of like a weird pain on the ear. So I was like, let me go back to the larges. So that's pretty much what I stuck with up until making this video. They feel the same now with the large as they do with the mediums for the AirPods. So I can't really fix that issue of where the silicone tips move out and in. For other people, it definitely might be a different fit. Everyone has different ears. That's why we have so many options for the ear tips. And of course, you have more options with the Powerbeats this year. So it just depends on how you're gonna use these and what you're gonna do with them. For me personally, I don't think it's a great benefit to the fact that I have the actual buds on my ear with the ear hook, because I still don't get the perfect sound if the silicone tips move in and out of my ear canal. So I think that, it's a great thing to have for them not completely falling off, but don't expect them to be like cemented there and like they just work all the time with no movement at all. That's not the case, at least for me. You might have a different, opinion once you try these out. Going also to the sound quality, because that's something that's also very important, especially when you're comparing the same price for both of these. So the AirPods, if you're unfamiliar, they have a more neutral sounding profile. I am no audiophile, but I can tell you that the vocals are always crisp and the bass is there, but not over dramatic. However, with the Beats and any other over-the-head Beats that I've tried, those always the bass is dramatic and then the vocals are not as clear. However, here with these, I have a little bit different of a perspective. With a really nice sounding silicone tip, so especially with like the extra large one, I felt that the bass was best compared to the large one with the Powerbeats. However, they were still uncomfortable, so I went back to the large, but the large compared to the medium on the AirPods kind of have like a muffled bass, but the vocals is where it really changes my perspective. On the vocals for the Powerbeats, it is not crystal clear. And that is not something that I enjoy, especially when listening to a podcast or let's say a trainer for a workout. It's not clear and crisp. On the AirPods, it's so crisp, and I don't know why the audio drivers are that different. Even though they have the same chip, something has changed and it's different. And a lot of people I've seen around on the internet, they mentioned that the first gens were a lot better for some reason. I'm starting to feel like these could have been better. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but the bass is there, but the vocals are not crystal clear, and they sound like farther away with lower volume than the actual bass, which I don't think I enjoy that for the type of music I listen to and the type of podcasts or trainers I listen to. The AirPods are definitely my go-to way for audio quality, I can say, compared to the Beats. So if you're looking for pure audio quality, I would say definitely go for the AirPods. But if you want something more with bass and not really focus that much on the vocals, then I would go for these, because you definitely have a big difference in bass for the Powerbeats Pro 2. And that is something I did expect. I just did not expect the vocals to be so, mushy and farther away sounding. That's not something I like. The major factor here is, of course, the fit, because that's what's most important. So even though they're the same price, if you're looking for an athletic fit for athletic activities, then definitely go for the Powerbeats. I mean, the audio difference is there. However, if you've never owned the AirPods or you have an old gen of the AirPods, you probably won't notice the difference that much or know what you're really missing out on, because like I said, it just depends on what you want to use them for. And I think that if you do some serious activity, then you definitely want the ear hooks to at least keep the earbuds on your ears and not flying off, just like the AirPods can. So that is something you should definitely consider as well when making your ultimate decision on which ones you should get. One interesting thing here is that Apple decided to keep all of the features that it has newly released for the AirPods only for the AirPods and not for the Beats. So let me get started first with the Find My connectivity. So for the Find My connectivity, you don't have the U1 chip like I mentioned earlier, so you don't have that precise finding, and then the case also doesn't have the actual finding as well. But other small things like having the ability to put these in lost mode is missing as well in the Find My app. So that's pretty interesting there on why it doesn't have that. But maybe that's a feature of the U1 chip for some reason. I'm not quite sure why it's missing. The next thing that's missing is you have the hearing aid test and then the ability to use them with hearing aids as assistants. So that's only on these AirPods Pro 2, and they didn't originally come out with that. They had a software update for these AirPods Pro 2, and that came out with that feature. But these definitely do not have that. So if that's something you're looking for, go for the AirPods. The next thing that I personally use a lot and I wish were on the actual Beats is the conversation awareness. So the conversation awareness, where it lowers the volume as soon as you start talking, is a great feature that I use daily. And it's crazy that as soon as I use these, I was expecting them to lower the volume without even looking for the feature, but it's unfortunately not there. So these do not lower when you start talking. So you mainly have to go and lower them or pause it. The next thing here is the modes for the noise cancellation. So on the Powerbeats Pro 2, you'll get yourself the noise cancellation and the transparency mode. On the AirPods, you also have those two plus the adaptive noise cancellation, which changes depending on your environment. So it's kind of a bummer that these do not have that and they left it for the AirPods Pro 2. And maybe there's a reasoning for this. Maybe they want to keep their exclusive features just for their own earbuds. Even though they own Beats, they want to keep it a totally separate line with more limited features. The other thing that's also interesting here is the fact that this one has heart rate tracking. So that was one of the major reasons why I went out and wanted to try these out, because I was really interested in how this works. I've heard rumors that the AirPods will eventually get some heart rate tracking, but having them in an actual product that's already released is really cool. So I wanted to check it out. So coming to the heart rate tracking, the way this thing works is if you're listening to music and you have them on your ears, then what's gonna happen is every so often, it's gonna report your heart rate from the sensor to your Apple Health in the log. So you can go to your heart rate log and you can see all the times that it has collected data from the actual headset, and it would have a little Bluetooth icon indicating that it came from a Bluetooth device, which makes it really convenient for that purpose. Another option is if you have a smart treadmill with Bluetooth, you can connect with Bluetooth to these earbuds and they can report your heart rate directly on the screen of your treadmill. What's the issue with that? You can't listen to music at the exact same time while doing that. So you have pretty much two earbuds on your ears that don't play music, but they are tracking your heart rate while you're doing your treadmill workout. You would have to listen to the gym, and I hope you have some really good gym music if you go to a gym. The other thing that's interesting, and I want to see how it works, is the Apple Fitness integration, and I came to find out that it has none. So if you have no Apple Watch and you try to do a workout through the fitness app and you have Fitness Plus, unfortunately, it won't show the heart rate data directly on your screen. So you need an Apple Watch to show the heart rate data and then show you what you are on the status level of that workout. So unfortunately, these will not work for that. The AirPods Pro next gen are probably gonna have heart rate tracking, but they will work in the fitness app regardless if you have an Apple Watch or not. And I think that that's going to be one of the key features there and why they left it out on this one. So it's kind of a bummer that you don't really have that option. It kind of defeats the purpose, but if you just use them to listen to music, then you'll also have that heart rate data inside your health app. One other thing that I noticed here that's missing on the Powerbeats is the fact that you don't have any of the head gestures with the AirPods. So if that's something you use to pick up and end calls and different things, get the AirPods, because you would definitely not get that feature here. Next thing here is the water resistance rating. So both of these are splash resistant. However, the AirPods are slightly better at the fact that they're also dust resistant. So that's something, if you really care about, then you should definitely go for the AirPods. Coming to the end of all of this, which one should you buy? In my opinion, I personally prefer the AirPods because of all the features that it had, but I was very inclined to go and use just the Powerbeats if I could get that perfect fit, because I really wouldn't miss out on majority of the features that the Powerbeats do not have. But the fact that the silicone tips were not as perfect as I thought they would be, especially with the ear hooks, I definitely will stick to the AirPods Pro 2 because of the price point being the exact same, unless you need these ear hooks. And unless you want the better bass, I don't think that the Powerbeats Pro 2 can be a better option than the AirPods Pro 2 in my personal opinion. But of course, you can decide for yourself which ones you think are best. I'll leave links to both of these in the description below so you can check those out individually. And if you did enjoy this video, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Zanif Tech is out.